let's talk about the fact that he confirmed this will be short, but he confirmed that Twitter, before he came along, interfered with elections. He made a tweet where he, referred to the throttling of the Hunter Biden laptop story. He just outright said, yeah, that's Twitter interfering with elections, putting its thumb on the scale. And I know it doesn't seem like news. It really, to people like us, it doesn't seem like news, but it is news. For normies, it is news. For somebody who is in control of a company, who presumably has access to all the books, to all the information, to just say outright that this company interfered or tried to influence elections. No company has ever admitted that. I know we all know that Facebook tried and does. We all know that Twitter did. Yeah, we know Google. But the average person doesn't know, and this is news. I'll make an analogy. I'll make an analogy for you. What?
The average person doesn't know by now. Is Elon Musk saying this going to change that?
I think so. I think so because he's big news. Everyone pays attention to him.
Yeah, but is mainstream media going to report on Elon saying that?
If they don't, even if they don't, though, that's the thing. He's breaking the mainstream news. He's breaking the mainstream media. How many people just get their news straight from Elon's Twitter now? How many people get news straight from the Twitter people they follow, from the YouTubers they follow who, cover this stuff? Now, admittedly,
yeah, those are not normies.
Those are not normies, but more and more it's normies. And there are some mainstream outlets covering this. If I find them, I'll link them, but at least one or two, like maybe the Washington Examiner, right? So him saying it out loud is important, It is important.
It might be, an important event. I just don't think, somebody like my dad or my brother are going to catch wind of this.
It's a step in the right direction, though, because the next time this topic comes up, someone will say, the CEO of Twitter admitted that Twitter tried to influence elections. And here's the evidence. Here they are saying it right there. Here's the analogy I would make. Did you know that John Travolta is probably gay?
No.
Because you're a normie when it comes to this sort of stuff. You didn't know that. You just thought he was an actor, right?
Yeah.
Well, he is just an actor who happens to probably be gay. There have been so many blind items and rumors and things like that about it that for people who follow Hollywood, it's pretty much an open secret. So if there was a Hollywood insider who said, oh, guys, I got news. Did you know that John Travolta is gay? Everybody in Hollywood would just look at you like you're a moron. Yeah, okay. And? Yeah, we've known this for like 30 years. But you didn't know that, did you? So if the head of Disney said, oh, by the way, I just found out in our records here that John Travolta's gay. Did you guys know that? You would probably say, well, no, not, I mean, it's okay that he's gay, but I didn't know. That's interesting, right? That's how you would view it as a normie. And this is just this is the type of thing. I know maybe it doesn't move the needle quite to where we want it, where all the normies like your dad know about it, but it's going to come up at some point. It's going to come up. Like in the next election, people are going to talk about how big tech is trying to influence elections. And at some point, somebody will say, what about the time that Elon admitted that Twitter has been influencing elections? It's going to come out. They're going to hear it. And for somebody in a position of power, for someone in the know to say it out loud, does make a difference. So it is big. It's hard to see how big it is when, like I said, when you've known that John Travolta is gay for 30 years. It's really hard to see how that admission moves the needle. But
I mean, the next thing they need to admit is how big of a difference it would have made, right? They're all on up on Russiagate, blah blah blah. But then
right.
This seems like it has way more influence than anything Russia did.
That'll be hard to quantify because you can't. How do you quantify how suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop translated to votes? You really can't.
Right.
I mean,
even though we both know that probably had a good chance.
Had a good chance of swinging the election. Yeah. But even if you polled people now and they said, "Oh yeah, it would have made a difference in how I voted," that's not reliable either because you say that now, that's not necessarily reflective of what you would have done in 2020, right?
Yep.
So there's no real way to quantify that, unfortunately. But a person with common sense, any fair person with common sense, understands that suppressing negative stories about one candidate consistently versus the other candidate is going to make a difference. And that's something that Twitter engaged in. We now have evidence of that. And okay, we don't have the evidence as far as, the data or the programming or whatever, the records, right? But I think it's fair to say that the CEO of the company who's looked at those records is saying it. I think it's pretty fair that the records reflect it. I sincerely doubt that he is just making this up and just, this is just random speculation as if he were just any person on Twitter like me. No, he's not any person on Twitter like me. He's the CEO of the company. He has access to records that I don't. So, and he's still saying it. He said it even louder. You can probably assume that means it's true. So this is an important day. Even though it doesn't look like it to people like us. It doesn't seem like it, but put it in your back pocket. And when you're arguing when it comes time 2024 and you're arguing with your family about whether or not big tech tries to swing elections and they say, no, what evidence do you have that they even do? Then bust this out. And also you can bust out like whatever extra, documentation that Elon's provides, from now to then. You'll have evidence to prove your point. Now, whether evidence moves people in this day and age, that's another argument.